Hello everyone, this is Nicole. What a beautiful day it is in Melbourne. And today I have a special treat for all of you that own businesses. Why is it special? Well, let me just have a little bit of a chat with you. Today we're doing this Facebook Live chat and it happens to be at 2 o'clock. Now, in theory, in the digital marketing landscape, there are certain times of the day that Facebook Lives are really, really fantastic, where they get a lot of traction and a lot of viewers. Today, I purposely did 2 o'clock to demonstrate that when you have a business and on Google, when your prospective customers, clients, or whoever is searching for you on Google, there is no time of the day. And so this brings to me, with great delight, Jo Brody.
Hi everybody.
Jo Brody is the Google Adwords specialist and guru. She is amazing, and today I asked her that if she could speak to all of us about the importance of Google Adwords and how it can actually help our business. Thanks, Jo, for joining me today.
Not at all. Thank you for asking me to talk. And hi, Alana. I can see Alana's watching. She's
Hi.
just asking if it will be recorded so she can get a video of it after.
Definitely, Alana. Love to have you on board today. Now, Jo, please tell our viewers, what on earth is Google Adwords?
Okay, so to make it as simple as possible, Google Adwords is essentially an auction. So what that means is that when somebody types into Google, for example, something as generic as restaurants in Melbourne CBD, what will happen is Google will use page 1 as an auction. So that means that as long as you have somebody running an efficient Google AdWords campaign for you, your advert will appear specifically on page 1, ideally in the top 3 when somebody is searching. And the way that it is picked by Google is that you have agreed that that keyword and that cost per click is within your budget to make sure that you appear on page 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're talking about, is there some sort of auction sort of process that happens there, Jo?
Yeah, so what I tend to say to my clients is that the easiest way to describe what I do, aside from all the technical stuff, is that it's a little bit like it's a little bit like bidding for something at an auction. So what I do is I go into the background and I have a look at competitors, see what they're bidding at, to make sure that you're appearing above them. And the way that I do that is with my expertise of advert content and wording, but more importantly, we make sure that you're bidding at the right cost per click to get above everybody else.
So just that we can just reframe that, is it the keywords exactly that people are punching into their keyboards?
So you can run a campaign with 3 different types of keywords. Broad match is where, as long as the keyword is some part of the sentence or a particular word, you'll appear. A lot of businesses use broad match, and personally I don't. The problem with the broad match is that it'll just give the user too many options that are not relevant, and you'll get a lot of traffic. A lot of businesses that approach me that have broad match keywords, we find that their click-through rate is very, very low, and that's because the keyword isn't actually relevant. Phrase match is the most popular way of advertising a keyword. So I'll give you an example. Somebody might put cheap plumber Melbourne.
Yep.
And you'll still appear if you're a plumber in Melbourne. If you don't want to appear under the word cheap, then we add that as a negative keyword to make sure that you don't appear under that one.
Wow. It just seems like you need somebody that is an expert, that has a lot of experience in creating these campaigns and that.
Definitely. I mean, I've been doing it for 9 years and I'm still learning every day. And I think what's important for people to understand is that Google AdWords is the #1 primary source of income for Google. So when people are saying that they don't click on the ads, they don't think that's the way that Google make their money, Google shopping is the way, it's not the truth. Google make a lot of their income from AdWords, and that means that they're continually improving that platform. So I have to continually learn the new AdWords platform day on day, week on week, month on month, year on year.
Wow. So Jo, just tell our viewers, I'm searching for something on Google.
Yeah.
And up on the top, you would you probably see it with a little yellow ad.
Correct.
So that is what a Google AdWords campaign looks like?
Yeah, so there's 3 places predominantly you can appear. Depending on the amount of advertisers, sometimes you'll see them on the right-hand side, but generally you have 3 to 4 advertisers at the top, which you're right, they have the little yellow like sticker saying ad. However, Google have got clever, and a lot of people now will go to the bottom of a page because the odd person will think, okay, I'm not going to click someone at the top and I'll go back to the plumber.
Okay.
But they'll go to the bottom because they have this thing that it's going to be cheaper. However, Google now put AdWords at the bottom of the page as well.
Oh, so they've picked up on that.
So they've picked up on that. So trust me, Google, and that's what I mean about AdWords being Google's primary source of income. So they make sure as much as possible AdWords get priority listings.
Yes.
And I'm not diminishing at all, and I want to put this point across. SEO is important for a business, and I advise all my clients to have SEO. However, 90% of all searches and all Google traffic comes from page 1. Less than 10% of people will go and click next. So I would say, ask yourself this: when was the last time you Googled something, scroll to the bottom of the page and clicked next?
Wow.
Not very often. Most people don't do it. Less than 10% of people do it. So SEO is a good way of 6 to 9, 12 months down the line getting some of your keywords on page 1. But AdWords is the only guaranteed way to be on page 1 if you have somebody good looking after your AdWords.
Yeah, so that's where you've got this great business that you help businesses with their Google AdWords campaign.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
How long does it take before they start getting to the first page?
Well, on Google AdWords, it's really about my workload. So as soon as I work on something, it's less than 48 hours.
Wow.
And you're on page 1. It's all about Google. So legally, Google will tell you it's a sort of minimum 24 hours. So we have to go on those guidelines. Sometimes people are live 6-7 hours later, but I generally tell my customers a couple of days at the most. Once the adverts are approved, you're immediately on page 1.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, can you tell our viewers, you've got Facebook ads and you've got Google ads,
yes.
Correct? It's such a big, complex jungle out there.
It is.
Google is obviously, from what I'm hearing from you, is that you definitely should really have Google ads more than Facebook because people are actually searching for something.
Okay, so being completely honest, when people and companies approach me, I actually offer a free AdWords discovery session for everybody. So I don't just say, yes, these are my fees, yes, I'm going to take you on as a client, because there are clients that actually would be better off on Facebook.
Wow.
So if they have a particular niche, and if at the moment Google is not trending those AdWords,
yeah.
I will honestly say to that client, it's not the time for you right now. Wow. Everybody that calls me and has a discovery session, I jump on the keyword tool on Google AdWords,
yeah.
and I actually let them know on average each month how many people are actively looking on Google and page 1 for what they do.
Wow.
So it gives people peace of mind that they're actually going to get a return on their investment. Don't get me wrong, it's very rare that I turn anybody away.
Yep.
At all. However, it does happen.
Wow.
So I think it's really important to make sure that your target market is looking for you on Google before you spend $1 on clicks.
Well, that does make sense, Joe, because there's no point, just slashing out hundreds and hundreds of dollars if you don't know who your target market is, which you sit as well to define that.
Correct, yeah.
I'm very much into social media, so obviously I also do that. We identify who is your target market in that. But the stats that have come out show that, first of all, most people do still visit Google and they will type in what they're looking for.
Yeah, so Google, in the latest stats by Forbes, who are very trusted, Google has a 70% share of anybody that is searching for anything on any digital platform. Facebook is also important if your target market is identified by somebody like Nicole or somebody else that's a specialist in that field. So I look at somebody's advertising overall to make sure that AdWords fits in the right place for them.
Wow. So can you please tell our viewers, Joe, how do they get started with this? I mean, obviously you've had years and years and years of experience.
Yep.
Many people will try to do it themselves, but,
Yeah.
you know, what happens is they get confused. They're just like, you know, pouring in money in there. How do they actually get started, and how can it help them to grow their business?
Yeah, okay, so what I will say first is that around 50% of my current clients are businesses that already were doing AdWords before I came along.
Yes.
And what happened is they had unfortunately spent money, whether it be with another business or majority of the time themselves, and they'd set up the campaign correctly. However, they didn't know what to do in the back end, mainly with keywords and bidding to make sure they got a return.
Right.
So what I offer is, whether you have AdWords, you're looking to do AdWords, or you just want to find out if AdWords is for you, the best thing that I can offer you, and it's completely free and there's no sales involved in the call at all, unless you ask for something at the end of the call, and I'll happily send you a proposal. The call, basically, we put aside about an hour and we have a chat about your business overall, what you're looking to get from an AdWords campaign, and I will live search on Google during the call to actually find out for you how many people a month on average for the geographical area and service or product you offer are looking for what you have.
Wow. So before we go, Joe, should a client have a website first?
Yes, and this is another thing that I include before I take on any client. What I do is I do a website overview. Now that isn't a website audit. I don't do that. I know people that can do that. Nicole does that very, very well. But what I do is, there's no point me getting you to #1 on Google in 48 hours if your website is not user friendly, it doesn't have the right speeds, there isn't enough call to action on the website, and there's not enough landing pages that match the keywords. So I will give you an overview and ask you to make amends if they're required before you go live on page 1 of Google. And again, that's something that a lot of people don't do. But for me, I will get you to #1 on Google or in the top 3.
Yay.
And then also you need to make sure that your website has all of those factors to make sure that the clicks convert to a sale.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, you know what, Joe, that was such a lot of information. Can you please tell our viewers, how do they contact you?
Well, you can obviously put a little note on here. You can go onto Joe Brody or Facebook. You can find me on Make Sense Marketing, and you can just send me a PM or a message and we can schedule a call and we can just have a chat to see how I can help you.
Wow. You know what, Joe, I want to really thank you for today.
No, thank you very much for coming along.
I hope everybody got some value from our lovely, discussion about Google AdWords. Perhaps if you can put your questions down there and we could follow it up.
Answer any questions at all.
And we can follow it up with another, live. If you found that you got value out of this, please do comment below. Please share this with other people so that, they will thank you for it. So once again,
Definitely.
Joe,
Thank you very much, Nicole.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.